Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, the day is finally here. For the 4th year in a row, we're going to be doing Non-League to Legend here on the channel. I've already been offered and accepted the job as manager of St Albans, so strap yourself in, subscribe to the channel, turn notifications on, grab a cup of coffee and a bowl of popcorn, and let's get into episode 1 of Non-League to Legend, Football Manager 2019 edition. Hello and welcome to episode 1 of Non-League to Legend 2019. I won't continue to call it that. I'm just excited about the fact it will still be Non-League to Legend. I just won't keep saying 2019 all the time. Quite apart from the fact we're still in 2018. Gaming naming conventions confuse me. But anyway, we're here. It's part 1. I'm Kev. If you've never seen any of our videos before, welcome along. If you don't know what Non-League to Legend is, because it is a little bit different from your standard Football Manager save, then there is a link to a video down in the description that will help explain it to you. But the general gist is we start at the lowest playable club nearest to my house that I've never played on YouTube before, with the end goal of trying to win the Champions League. Not necessarily with that club. Realistically, it won't be with that club. We will move around as the game dictates, with every decision being based on realism. And with realism in mind, obviously the first thing I had to do before deciding whether or not to accept St Albans is just check that I'm going to be able to find somewhere to live. And as ever, the first part of making sure that it's a realistic job for me to take on is just checking how far away St Albans is from home. And I think actually for the first time in Non-League to Legend, certainly since that first year when we did Boston, for the first time I think it would potentially be realistic for me to commute, because St Albans are part-time. Last year we were dealing with full-time clubs. St Albans are part-time, and it's less than a 2-hour drive for a Saturday afternoon and midweek training in the evenings. I mean, it's doable, but I really don't fancy the 2-hour drive home after training on a Tuesday night in the middle of winter. It's a long drive. It's 80 odd miles away. I don't think you can see where I am, sort of. You can't actually see my house, luckily, but I'm just north of Peterborough, St Albans, just north of London, for those of you not familiar with the area. So we're going to need a house. So the first thing I did is looked at what my salary is. I'm on £475 a week in St Albans, which is a very, very generous salary. I'm very happy with that. So I headed over to the Halifax mortgage calculator. Other mortgage calculators are available, but Halifax is particularly good for first-time buyers, I've heard. This is not sponsored. It's the first one that came up when I googled mortgage calculator. And based on my £475 a week, or £24,700 a year, I could borrow up to £117,325, which when you add on a 5% deposit, as a first-time buyer would have to do, you're looking at something in the region of about £125,000. So I then had a look to see what you can get in St Albans for up to £125,000 or £120,000. But, you know, it's expensive. You get the idea. There were only 3 results in the whole of St Albans that were in my price range. The cheapest place is a double garage, which for a man who records his YouTube videos out of his own garage, that feels a little bit too close to the bone. Plus, we ended up having to live in a garage last year when I was managing Bath. So we're not doing a garage. The next option, we have a piece of land available, which I'm interested. £85,000 for a piece of land. Now, obviously, with my budget, I don't have enough money to build a house on that land yet. Obviously, if we stay at St Albans for a long, long time, having a piece of land means that we could eventually build a house, settle down in the area, not have to keep moving. It certainly has its appeals. In the meantime, we could spend some of the extra money on a caravan, and, you know, 10 grand for a caravan, 9.5 grand and £85,000 for the land. We're still well within our budget. It's a brand new caravan. Look at the luxury I'd be living in. But thankfully, there was a third option. We don't have to live in a caravan on a piece of land, and I think I am just going to go for this flat. 2-bedroom apartment, £95,000. People said I wouldn't be able to find anywhere to live in St Albans. Well, I found somewhere, and it looks like a very pleasant flat. I don't know if it comes with all the furniture that's in there already. I've always wanted a guitar, so if it comes with a guitar, that would be marvellous. Is that a warning sticker on their washing machine? That's the sticker that they put on when you're not allowed to use stuff anymore, isn't it? Or is it a brand new washing machine? But it looks perfectly acceptable. I mean, That's a little bit dated. An Oasis Nebworth poster. My word. I was still at school when Oasis played Nebworth, but I think we're going to go for this flat. So for the foreseeable future, for as long as we're at St Albans or until they give me a significant pay rise, we are going to be living in a modern 2-bedroom ground floor apartment with the benefit of an underground car parking space. Housing sorted. Let's see what the team's all about. And I have no idea what the team is all about, because unlike previous years, I've done nothing. I've literally just started up the save, and we're gonna have a look around and meet the team and meet the club together. We're not going to play a game on today's episode, and we'll do that tomorrow. We'll do a summary of the transfers I end up doing and our first game tomorrow. Today is going to be all about meeting our new club, meeting our new team. I have been down to spend a little bit of time with the club. There's a match day vlog from pre-season friendly against Luton that we had to find elsewhere on the channel. So I have been to Clarence Park. It's a lovely little ground, and helpfully has a poker stop in one of the corners, so I can play my Pokemon Go when I'm down there for match day as well. But here's my little welcome to St Albans confirmation that I'm on £475 a week for a year. I'm going to attend the meeting. I'm not going to make you sit through the meeting, so I'll let you know if anything bad happens in it. But time for me to meet with Big John, I'm going to work very closely with Big John over the next few seasons. So first chat with Big John concluded. No alarm bells are set off. We seem to be doing good. Tactics, we'll look at tactics in a minute. We're going to meet the team first. These are our new signings. So these are players who've come in over the summer. It looks like been quite a lot of turnover of player over the summer, and I have seen a lot of these play live, and there was a couple of them who stood out as being particularly good in real life. Ralston Gabriel looked particularly good, and he's 2.5 star in game. Our 4th best striker. Oh, great. I love it when the players I already know aren't any good. Dave Diedieu, he had a particularly good game, if I remember. There was him and someone else in midfield. They basically controlled the midfield for like the first half against Luton. This guy is a winger. I've not really used wingers on Non-League to Legend before, but both of the wingers looked pretty good. But we'll meet the team properly in a second. No injuries, good. Responsibilities, I've just set my responsibilities up, so I'm going to be doing, obviously, transfers. I'm doing my own team talks. If you've not been around since FM19, that's going to be new to you. I'm still not messing around with opposition instructions, but I am going to manage the friendlies to get my head around building a tactic, press conferences, tunnel interviews. Obviously, that's all my stuff too, but I'm not going to be doing the training. I'm just going to be taking a bit of an overview of training. I'll tweak it if I need to, but as much as the new training system is splendid, I still don't really understand how to make a man fit to play a game of football. So we're going to leave Glenn in charge of that. Pre-season preparation. Arrange. Have we not got friendlies arranged? I think we've got friendlies arranged, haven't we? We have got friendlies arranged, so I don't need to arrange any more friendlies. And we're going to be playing against the under-23s. I'm not going to show you that because the last time I did that, it was humiliating. We've got players who've reported back in top condition, which is splendid. I don't think we're going to be messing around in those kind of transfers in a little while, but here's our history of St Albans. So founded in 1908, semi-professional club, playing in the National League South, finished 8th last season. Do we have a prediction for this season anywhere? We play at Clarence Park. Let's see what Clarence Park is all about. 5,000 capacity. Does it say how much of that is seated? Probably, I mean, from when I was there, maybe 200 seats. Have we got confirmation? If we go into facilities, 642 seats. I can just about believe that. Enjoyed a brief spell of success in the 2000s, although now enduring a 32-year barren spell. How far in the future are we? Not won a competition since 1986, but we do have a history we can be justly proud of. We won the English 6th tier in 1924, 1927, and so the 1920s were our glory years, and then we won the English 7th tier for the only time in 1986. Okay, let's not panic. We're going to be charting a new course with St Albans if we manage to turn this into a club that can perform at a higher level than the one we're at the moment. This is our report of our squad at the moment. Ben Hurd is definitely a player I identified as someone who was very good when I went to see them pre-season. Tom Bender, so we're decent at fullbacks. Having good fullbacks is always a good thing. Good fullbacks with some good long throws. I feel a tactic emerging. Ben Hurd is... so he's the best player available to play at right back, and he's a superb right back. Wow. Tom Bender can also play at centre-back. So we're very good for fullbacks. We need a system that's going to involve our fullbacks, which is very much a Kev system. We've got a decent amount of wage budget left, but there's not really any standout technical skills on there, other than the fact we can do a good long throw. What else are we quite good at? Marking, tackling, anticipation, eccentricity. Goalkeepers in the team are far from eccentric. Good. Have a low tendency to punch. So just normal goalkeepers, and we've got good defenders who can mark and tackle. So we're going to be playing a counter-attacking system, it seems. Where are we weak? We've only got one goalkeeper, but at least he's not eccentric. We need more midfielders, particularly on the right wing. There's not a great deal of depth outside the first team. That's something we can deal with. We've got no youth prospects or a left winger. So we've got no wingers. Right, I can work with a system that isn't any good on the wing, decent on the left wing, but could still be improved there. We're not very good at crossing or dribbling or finishing or long range shooting or move off the ball movement or penalty taking or, oh God, look how far this scrolls. So to summarise, we're not very good at anything. We're not fit. We're not really bothered about it. So at least we're not down about the fact that we're fat and aren't very good. We've got no money to spend, and we've got no coaching staff to improve what we've already got. But at least we have a good right back and a good left back. We're definitely going to be playing some kind of counter-attacking, quite defensive system, methinks. Introductory advice. Oh, good. We've got poor youth facilities as well, just to top that off. I'm not gonna get involved in captains and set piece takers today because there's going to be some more players coming in. So we'll worry about that when we're a little bit closer to the start of the new season. Let's have a little look at what we've got then. With the LOLLUJO view, which by the way is now available to download on the Steam Workshop. If you want this match view, this squad view, you can get it off the Steam Workshop. So we've got quite a few players with some decent potential. Remember, this is 5-star Conference South potential, so they're not necessarily going to go on and become world beaters. Solomon Sambu, he was another one who was particularly good in central midfield when I went to see them play in the pre-season friendly. Ability wise, our best player is David Noble, who is 36 years old, formerly of lots of league teams, particularly Arsenal and West Ham. I remember David Noble from like Championship Manager 01-02. A long time ago. He's now 36, been at St Albans a little while, presumably not particularly mobile anymore, but he wants to be a deep-lying playmaker, so we're going to have a midfield that has a deep-lying playmaker in. There's our good fullback, Tom Bender at left-back or centre-back. We might end up playing him at centre-back. It's probably going to be more valuable there. Sambu's a defensive midfield player, although if we play him, so he can potentially be our ball winner or our maybe a ball-winning midfielder alongside a playmaking Noble in midfield. That might work. We've got... What do you play? You're another defensive midfielder. We seem to have a lot of defensive midfield players. There's Ben Hurd. Best striker is Sam Merson. So after having Paul Merson's pretend son in Non-League to Legend last year with Mr. Arsenal, Tommy Merson, who was born in the Highbury changing rooms, we've now got Paul Merson's actual son, Sam Merson. Just to confirm, it doesn't actually confirm. So he's Paul Merson's son, but Paul Merson's not in his favoured personnel. He's definitely Paul Merson's son. Got 20 goals for us last season as well. So he's definitely going to need to be involved. It's a very, very small squad, though. If we have a look at the team report, I mean, they're not kidding when they say we've got nothing on the right-hand side of midfield. Or, I mean, it's screaming out for a typical Kev not using wingers system here, because we just don't have any. Ben Wyatt is a left-back who can play in midfield at a push. And then we've got Da Costa, who he's got decent potential. But is it worth going out and signing a bunch of new wingers when we don't... I don't know, can these two play wing-back? Could we maybe do a 3-5-2? He's an accomplished wing-back. What about Hurd on the other side? Are you a wing-back? You're also an accomplished wing-back. So rather than going out and signing wingers... Potentially, because we've already got our strengths are at our fullback, if we were to do like a... No, not a 3-5-2. Give me a 5-3-2. If we were to do a 5-3-2, just a normal one. How do you get a normal 5-3-2 on this game? Am I just being thick? No, not 5-2-3. Not a 5-4-1. I am just being stupid, I think. Let's just do that one for now. So a 5-2-1-2. So I mean, they're not as effective at wing-back, are they? Maybe that's a bad idea. That's something for me to ponder. Let me know down in the comments what you'd be looking at with this squad. If we have a look at the squad depth again, stick it back to 4-4-2. There's my narrow 4-3-1-2 that I prefer, which it's not changing to. 4-4-2. No, let's try again with the 4-3. No, it's just not going to show us. So they're not capable of a 4-3-1-2, which is probably for the best. Our defence looks strong. Central midfield looks strong. We could probably do with upgrading our strikers, and we definitely need to decide what we're doing with the rest of the midfield. Okay, there's business to be done in the transfer market. We've got not very much money to do it with. Maybe we're going to be looking at loans. Definitely we're going to be looking at players who are available on a free. Our pre-season prediction is 17th place. Didn't we finish 8th last year? But we're now predicted a 17th place finish. What are the board looking for from me? The board are looking for... minimum expectation is to achieve mid-table. So they're expecting, their minimum expectation is that we overperform our 17th place media prediction. We've got no money to do it, and our players aren't any good. Wow. Just take a few deep breaths. Staff-wise, there's me and 3 others. I mean, right. It's fair to say there's some work to do. I'm going to go away and do the work. Like I say, let me know down in the comments what you would do in this situation. If you're playing along at St Albans as well, let me know what you did. Who did you go out and sign? What positions did you strengthen? What system are you using? I think I'm leaning towards something more defensive because that's where our strengths are. Or maybe that's my indication that we should go and attack because at least we've got some defenders there to cover when... I mean, see, that's the real Kev coming back through now. I need to go away and do some thinking. I'll be back tomorrow, and tomorrow I'll have new players, I'll have a tactic, and we'll be ready to play our first game of the new season. If you are excited about the return of Non-League to Legend this year, if you're looking forward to this series, and if you've enjoyed this episode, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for us. First episode of our main series for FM19. It would be awesome if we could get up to 1,000 likes on this episode, so make sure you pop a like on there. As I said before, this is going to be a big one, it's going to be a long one. We're looking at many years worth of save, so make sure you subscribe to the channel, get those notifications turned on as well. The series is going to be coming out at 4 o'clock every day here on the channel, and hopefully you will enjoy it as much as I'll enjoy making it. It's the most wonderful time of the year. Non-League to Legend is back. Thank you very much for watching.